Guys, I don't know. I honestly don't know really what to say. I know for those of you guys who usually join me for the live streams and the review every single week, I know you guys are looking like, Fitz, where's your normal layout? You're not using your camera or anything. Guys, you guys see the review, right? You guys see the title. What does the title say? I don't care. I just don't care. It got to the point where I didn't bring my camera with me to work. I don't even feel like putting out the layout. I don't feel like connecting my mic, right? I have my Yeti microphone right here, but I don't care. I don't care enough to connect it. What is this? What is this show? What is this? What are we watching? What are we watching? I don't even know if you guys can hear. Let me know. Let me know. Can you guys even hear me correctly? Do I even sound good? All right, I guess I do, but I don't know. Like SmackDown, at least SmackDown, I'm invested in what's going on in there. You have the Tribal Chief storyline. You have Sasha Banks and Bayley. You have Sami Zayn. There's things I'm excited about when I watch SmackDown. SmackDown's actually a decent show most weeks. Raw, complete garbage. They don't care anymore. So why should I care? Why should I put in the effort of putting up my layout, using my camera, using my mic? They don't care enough to even give me a show to talk about for an hour. So why should I put in the effort of giving you guys the best looking podcast in the IWC? Why? I don't like, honestly, I'm just really checking to see if the Pats are going to beat the Jets. The Pats potentially losing to the worst team in the NFL. It's more interesting. Look at it. The Pats have the ball with 30 seconds left. They're trying to get in field goal range. The fact that they're struggling this hard to beat the Jets, the Pats dynasty is over. Is this now the new theme? Me coming on here? Is this really the new theme? Right? Me watching Monday Night Football on the podcast. That's the new theme? What's next, right? Well, every week now I decide to use my computer webcam instead of using my normal camera because I don't care. It's so bad. This is legit. They're giving us the same thing every single week. You can go 2 to 3 weeks without watching Raw and not missing anything. It's the same crap. Drew McIntyre attacking Randy Orton, right? They're still feuding over the WWE title. They've been feuding since July. Still feuding over the WWE title. And we're having a WWE Championship match between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre next week, the week before Survivor Series. Oh, Lana. Lana got put through a table for the 8th week in a row. 2 months in a row. Lana has been put through a table every single week. Right? Asuka hasn't had a legit contender for her Raw Women's Championship reign since Sasha Banks and Zelina Vega. Still, I'm sitting here saying the same shit every single week. At least with SmackDown, we can talk about what's going on with it. We can talk about the storylines. We can talk about the progression, right? There's things we can talk about on SmackDown. Raw, there is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh, man. Look at JQ says I should do Monday Night Football reviews from now on. Maybe I should. Myers just caught the ball. The Pats will have a chance. To win the game with a field goal. My gosh. Trebek just tells, goddamn, get a Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. I think about it is, I'm always like this. I'm always bitchy on Mondays. Because Monday Night Raw is garbage. And now I'm getting the connection is unstable. Hopefully you guys can still see me, but wow. Let's see if Nick Folk makes this field goal, and then we'll get in with the rest with the review. Because honestly, man, seeing the Pats can beat the Jets, that's way more interesting than anything on Monday Night Raw, right? Right? And he hits it. So the dynasty is over. It took that much for the Pats to beat the Jets. And Cam Newton's out there celebrating like he just won the AFC Championship. Oh, man. Man. All right. Anyway, for you guys that, may be new to the channel, right? What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Fitzmonk TV here, a.k.a. G-Lone33. Welcome back here to the Legit Shoot podcast. Sadly, I'm here with your Monday Night Raw review and results for November 9th, 2020. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys subscribe if you guys are new. I apologize because this is not my usual setup. I usually have a mic and a better camera and a layout and everything. It looks a lot more clean, but I don't care tonight. I don't have the energy to set up my normal layout for tonight's stream. I just don't. Because I just don't care. And I know you guys love watching me because some of you guys watch me because you guys can figure out what happens on Monday Night Raw just by my reviews, and I appreciate that. But NBA YouTube is right. I don't know what's worse, the Jets or Monday Night Raw. That's a legit debate. That's an actual argument. What is worse, the Jets or Monday Night Raw? Imagine that, guys. Imagine that. I don't know. SmackDown, at least SmackDown, I'm mainly positive. I don't know. Whatever Bruce Pritchard and Vince are doing, like right now, like I read a report earlier today, and this goes right into the show, right? Because The Miz, who wants to see him on Monday Night Raw, but The Miz opened the show tonight. Basically, I read a report. The reason why Otis lost the money to break briefcase to The Miz is because Vince cooled off on him. Just like Vince does with everybody. It was reported today that Vince cooled off on a singles push for Peyton Royce. They broke up Peyton Royce from the Iconics. I was never a fan of the Iconics, but at least as a group, they made sense. Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans as a tag team make no sense. The reason why they broke up the Iconics is because Vince wanted Peyton Royce to be a single star. Now he's gave it up on Peyton Royce. Wow. This is the thing with Vince. This is the sad thing with Vince. Every single day, his mood is different. Now we're hearing rumors that he doesn't even know what he wants to do for Survivor Series anymore because now he's thinking about changing plans. Why doesn't anybody realize that this man needs to go? Why won't anybody in that company stand up? I don't care if you're threatening to lose your job. You can go to AEW. There's thousands of other wrestling promotions that will treat you 1,000 times better. I don't care how much money WWE makes. I don't. The fact that no one has the balls to sit up there and tell Vince he's out of touch and needs to go. You have a man that doesn't even know how he wants to run his creative. It changes on a daily basis. Now we are 2 weeks away from what is supposed to be one of your most important pay-per-views of the year, Survivor Series. And now Vince McMahon still has no concrete plans. You should have concrete plans. You should have concrete plans for Survivor Series coming out of SummerSlam. You should already have your plans laid out and start building towards that. No, like Vince is legit killing his company. It's crazy. You gave Otis the money to bring briefcase just because you wanted to do something big. That's legit what the explanation was. Ringside Votes or Russell Votes reported this. Vince McMahon had Otis become Mr. Money to Make because he wanted to do something wacky, something big. And it failed. Because he gave The Miz the money to bring briefcase just because he thought the Otis thing wasn't going anywhere. Like legit. And the thing about it is Vince has no plans for The Miz to cash in Money in the Bank anytime soon. He's just holding the briefcase just to hold it. Like, this is the man that's in charge of WWE. Vince is killing his own company. And if you don't think that, you are delusional. You are sick. You are legit sick. I say this all the time. Why can I sit here behind of a camera and book this show better than the people who get paid to do it for a lifetime? They get to do this for a living. I don't know. I don't know what else you guys want me to say. Legit. This is legit the same Raw review I gave you guys last week. Because there's nothing else. There's nothing really to say. Like, I'm looking at the chat, and I appreciate it, but guys, let's say the stuff you guys are saying in the chat was the same thing you guys said last week. Because there's not. What is there to say? The show sucks. Anyway, we're gonna review it. We're gonna try to get through it as quick as possible. Show started off tonight, man. Miz TV. The guests were supposed to be the New Day, right? They gave a recap video of what happened on last week's show. The Miz and Morrison made their way to the ring. So, wow. Starting off Monday Night Raw with The Miz and Morrison. That's going to make me want to not change the channel, right? The Miz. Who the fuck cares about The Miz in 2020? I like John Morrison, actually. I hate how he's in this terrible tag team with The Miz. But this is the way you want to start Monday Night Raw? This is supposed to get us excited for the next 3 hours? Man. So The Miz plugged his new show, and he talked about how, all the big things that are happening on Monday Night Raw. I don't know. The Miz is calling himself the face of USA Network, which is a terrible, terrible nickname. Because if you want to call yourself the face of Monday Night Raw and the face of the USA Network, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should. Because Monday Night Raw is the worst show on television every single week. Anyway, Randy Orton came down to the ring, and he was in a rage. This would be a theme for Randy Orton throughout the night. We know Randy Orton has a lot of people coming after him and the WWE title. I don't even think The Fiend was on tonight's show. I don't even think he made any appearance. I don't think there was a Firefly Funhouse segment. I don't think there was anything involving The Fiend tonight. But Randy said that The Miz is a coward who can only win the WWE title with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Randy Orton knows this from experience because, of course, The Miz cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase on Randy Orton back in 2010. So, Randy, who was in a rage, he gave The Miz an opportunity to attack him from behind and cash in his briefcase, but he didn't fall for it. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, the New Day, come out, and they taunted them all from the stage, right? Kofi and Xavier got into the ring, and they said they wanted to act like the live crowd, since there's no crowd in there, of course. They said they would be the ones that would laugh and react to the bickering between Randy Orton and The Miz. So then Orton hit Kingston with an RKO, which looked pretty good. Then Miz and Morrison took out Xavier Woods. Then McIntyre came out. He came out to help all three men, but ganged up on him. All right. Or no, McIntyre came out to help Kofi and Xavier, but all three men, that being Orton, The Miz, and Morrison, they ganged up on him. The segment ended with Orton. I believe Orton hit another RKO on Drew McIntyre, and they all left celebrating their attack. But still, Orton was upset. And like I said, that was a theme throughout tonight's show. Like I said, I don't care. I don't care about The Miz being Mr. Money in the Bank. I like John Morrison, but I don't care about him being in this tag team. I like Randy Orton, but I don't care what they're doing with him right now because him and Drew McIntyre have been feuding since July. They started feuding in July before SummerSlam. Now, here we are 4 months later, and they're still feuding. And guess what? We'll talk about this a little bit more later on in the show, But it was announced tonight that next week before Survivor Series, right, on the last Monday Night Raw before Survivor Series, we'll be getting a WWE Championship match between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. Yay! Nice. That's going to bring the ratings up before Survivor Series, right? That's going to bring the ratings up on your go-home show, right? Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. Again. A match we've already seen. How many times? How many times? What, 3, 4 times now? We've seen this match over the summer? I don't understand what goes through these people's minds. I don't. How they think this is the answer. Anyway, man. Moving on. We had Elias versus Jeff Hardy versus Riddle. Yes. Matt Riddle's new name, he's being called Riddle. Most of the time, I'm going to call him just Matt Riddle just because why not, right? Riddle is a terrible name, and I ranted about this last week. I told you guys, Riddle will never get over. It won't, right? It won't. Now, we heard that Vince, wanted to have Matt Riddle present as a more serious character. I didn't see that tonight. I saw the same Riddle we've been seeing his entire time on the main roster. The Joker. It's not serious. And no pun intended there. Because I know that's a Batman. You connected to being a Batman reference. So Riddle, the Riddler, the Joker. Still. I see no changes here with Matt Riddle's character. I don't. I want to see Matt Riddle succeed. And, he had some success tonight. And we'll see how far this push goes. Because I don't trust WWE with Matt Riddle. I don't trust him with a Keith Lee. I still have my doubts about how they book Sasha Banks. Because every time Sasha Banks has a match, I gasp. Because I feel like WWE was going to do her dirty. Took her 5 years to successfully defend a main roster singles title. And when she's the best female wrestler in the world. So, okay. Oh, you're going to give me a report that, Vince wants to push Matt Riddle. Right? Yeah. This is the same guy that broke up Peyton Royce from the Iconics a couple weeks ago. Right? Or a couple months ago. Saying that Peyton Royce was going to get a major singles run just for her to be put into a tag team with Lacey Evans. Nice job there, Vince. Nice job. I don't trust anything that comes out of Vince McMahon's mouth. The guy is out of touch and needs to retire. I will keep saying it until it happens. Look at SmackDown. You look at SmackDown, right? Triple H has a lot more influence on that show. And you can see SmackDown is leagues better than Monday Night Raw right now. Leagues better. And SmackDown is a perfect show. It's not a perfect show from a long shot. But still, SmackDown is at least decent. At least I don't do SmackDown reviews raging mad like I do Monday Night Raw reviews every single week. There is nothing good about Monday Night Raw right now. And if you think there is, other than maybe Alexa Bliss and The Fiend, you are straight delusional. Straight delusional. So moving on, we had Elias versus Jeff Hardy versus Riddle. Triple threat match. This was a last chance match to qualify for the men's Survivor Series team. Right? And, this match was anything. I didn't care about this match. I didn't care. Of course, Elias, he did his typical guitar thing, got interrupted by Jeff Hardy. Like, who's surprised there? The match, wasn't anything special. I was barely paying attention. I barely paid attention to any of the in-ring action tonight. Other than, I think, maybe the tag team match with AJ Styles as special guest referee, which we'll talk about in a bit, and a little bit of Ricochet versus Ali, which was actually a really good TV show, or a really good TV match. All right? But for the most part, I was not really paying attention to any of the in-ring action on this show. So, Elias versus Jeff Hardy versus Riddle. All three men got their offense in. So, Hardy went on a rampage. Here near the end, Elias took him away with his finisher, the drift away. Riddle broke up the pin right before, and then Hardy got knocked out of the ring. Riddle hit the Bro Derek on Elias for the win. No surprise here there. Riddle makes the most sense, right? He makes the most sense to get the win, and he qualifies for the Men's Survivor Series team, which I predicted last week, right? Even though I don't trust WWE booking Matt Riddle, it's good to see him getting a couple of wins and, at least, being put in somewhat of a program here, right? But didn't care about the match. Big thing, Riddle is on the men's Survivor Series team. And so we don't know all the members of the SmackDown team, but we know the Raw Survivor Series team. And AJ Styles, Braun Strowman, Keith Lee, Sheamus, Matt Riddle. That's actually a solid team, right? And I think SmackDown's going to have a great team once they're finished. I think they still have like 1 or 2 more spots left on their team, and they'll probably have that done by SmackDown this Friday. The thing about it is, on paper, this looks like it's going to be a fantastic men's Survivor Series tag team match, but who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Who cares? Why should we care? Why should we care? There's no stakes. They're fighting for what? Bragging rights? For pride? Well, are they Vegeta? Are they all secretly Vegeta clones from DBZ? Oh, we're all here fighting for pride, for honor? No. And I'm going to be talking about this later this week because I will have an extra episode of the pod. I was supposed to release the episode Sunday, but my encoder messed up when I was recording, so I wasn't able to put it up yesterday. I apologize for that. For those of you guys who are looking forward to that episode, that bonus episode of the podcast, I'm hoping I can get it out here most likely Wednesday. That's what I'm aiming for, but no promises. But maybe you guys might be getting a bonus podcast later this week. But on that podcast, I talk about what they need to do to make the Survivor Series feel important, and they can still do that. The winners, get better slots in the Royal Rumble, or the winners getting title shots at any time they want before the Elimination Chamber, because, it wouldn't be, you're not going to have someone that wins the men's Survivor Series match, wait till WrestleMania to punch in their ticket for a world title shot. No. But we'll talk about that a little bit more later this week. But that's some of the ideas I had so you can make this match actually feel important. Because on paper, you have tons of talent here for the men's Survivor Series match. But they're not fighting for anything. You have that stupid-ass tagline, the best of the best. But, at least put some stakes behind it. Give us a reason to care. This seems like a random match that you would do in, WWE Universe mode of WWE 2K19. Not 2K20, because 2K20 is trash. But you guys get my point. Give us some damn stakes. Give us some stakes. Give us something to care about. Anyway, but yeah, that was the deal there. Like I said, like the men's Survivor Series match has so much talent. It's just there's no stakes about it. You can say the same thing about the women's Survivor Series team, right? And I tweeted this out. Lana getting put through a table, right? Where are they gonna make it 2 months in a row tonight? 2 months in a row, 8 weeks. Would they make it an 8th figure, having Lana be put through an announce table for the 8th straight week on WWE television? Well, let's talk about it. So Lana took on Shayna Baszler, right? Last week she took on Nia Jax, got her ass beat. This week she took on Shayna Baszler. And of course, I didn't care about the match at all. The match was anything special because Lana's not that good in the ring, right? As good as Shayna Baszler is, you need to put Shayna with somebody that can actually wrestle. Lana can't wrestle. Can't. Right? Lana tried to jump on Baszler's back as soon as the match started. Shayna threw her down and delivered some stick kicks. And the thing is, those kicks sounded hard. Like I thought Shayna was going extra hard on Lana on purpose. The way those kicks sounded, they sounded pretty brutal. All right. She stopped on Lana's arm, but missed a running knee in the corner. She dropped Lana with a gut wrench and a knee strike for a near fall. And then Lana kicked out. She scored the win with the Karafuda clutch. Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose were at ringside, right? And after the match, Nia took Lana to put her through the announce table, but instead, Mandy and Dana decided to make the save. Not that anybody cared. If you guys saw me on Twitter, I don't know why you guys aren't following me on Twitter, because I do live tweet during Raw and SmackDown. So if you guys ever want to discuss Raw and SmackDown before a podcast, that's the easy way to do it. My social medias are in the links in the description. All right. I said this. I said, all right, just because Lana didn't get put through the announce table now, so it'll probably get put through it later. I'm on the bet on it. And then I don't know, some clown said, yeah, right. This is the start of Lana's comeback. Her start of getting revenge on Nia Jax. I was like, shut up, you idiot. All right, shut up. This is a 3-hour show. And of course, I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit here. We had Asuka versus Nia Jax, which took place to begin the third hour. And you guys know I love Asuka, but I've been saying it the last couple weeks. Asuka has not had a contender for the Raw Women's Championship since Sasha Banks and Zelina Vega, which were 2 to 3 months ago. And nobody's saying anything. I love Asuka, but her title reign has legit been a joke. A joke. At least with Sasha Banks right now, right? I know we're in the early stages of Sasha's title run, but at least we know that Sasha's most likely her next opponent is going to be Carmella. They already set the seeds for that. So yeah, we have Sasha versus Asuka as Survivor Series, but we already know that it's going to be Asuka, or not Asuka. It's going to be Sasha versus Carmella as the next title feud on SmackDown after that. But Asuka, she has had no contender in months. In months. And, this is where having a Naomi or a Charlotte would be great. And I hate Charlotte, but at least she would make the division competitive. There's nobody, other than maybe Shayna Baszler, there's nobody in that division right now that is, on the show each and every single week. Not someone like Naomi, who I don't know where she is. But there's nobody on that show outside of Shayna Baszler and maybe Alexa Bliss because of her character work that, you could make an argument deserves to be in the Raw Women's Championship hunt. Nobody. I keep saying it every single week because I'm going to keep saying it until it's changed. I love Asuka, but her title reign looks like a joke. You have her facing nobody. Nobody. And it's shameful. It really is. So, anyway, Asuka, who wasn't even on the show last week, right? Asuka came out. She had a match with Nia Jax set. I didn't care about this. We've seen Asuka versus Nia Jax earlier this year. This was much earlier in Asuka's championship reign. We had Asuka versus Nia Jax set. And Nia Jax came out, or she was interviewed before the match, and she said she was the top star in the WWE Women's Division. Really? Are you kidding me? Nia freaking Jax? That fat bitch? Really? Don't make me. Don't. I'd rather watch a Jets game with bleach in my eyes than watch Nia Jax wrestle. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Nia Jax saying she's the best in the world? The best on Monday Night Raw? Are you kidding me right now? Jeez. Jeez, man. I gotta drink this just for that. Wow. Wow. And now I'm hearing this, that Nia injured Mandy Rose. Are you guys serious? Someone send me a clip on Twitter or something on Instagram. I don't know. I didn't watch the match. I was not paying attention. But if Nia did injure Mandy, ho, 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 another one. She injures most girls. That's her theme song. That's her theme song. She injures most girls. Jeez, man. Because all she does is injure people. Are you like, wow. Nia Jax injures Mandy Rose. Wow. Add her to the list. So Kairi Sane is watching in Japan and she's shaking her head because she knows what Mandy Rose is going through right now. That stupid ass bitch injuring another superstar. Why is she in the ring? Why is she holding a title? We took the titles off of Sasha Banks and Bayley, the best female wrestlers all year for WWE, to put it on a fat bitch who can't injure. A fat bitch who injures someone every single time she's in the ring. I messed with my words there. But you guys get the point. Wow, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. I searched the Nia Jax on Google just to see. I don't know if one of you guys can like DM me the clip or something on Twitter, right? So I can check it out. But man, wow. Yeah, you see, Edward knows the reference because BC used to say that all the time. She injures most girls. She fucking sucks. So we got this match here. Didn't care. As great as Asuka is, one of the best in the world, right up there in that number 2 spot behind Sasha Banks, in my opinion. Right? This match sucked. It sucked. And now, as Asuka did her best to make the match competitive, but still, it's Nia Jax. She's terrible. So, basically, we came back from break. Nia Jax was in control. Baszler cheered her from ringside, right? And Rose, Brooke, and Lana were all pulling for Asuka. So Asuka nailed her with a spinning back fist and a hip attack for a 2 count. Lana and Baszler ended up on the apron. Asuka knocked them both down. Baszler tagged Asuka to cause a DQ. No surprise there, right? They're not going to have Nia lose clean. I don't know why. WWE always thinks they need to protect Nia Jax. She sucks. Nobody cares about her. But no, here's their logic. We have to protect Nia Jax because she's the cousin of The Rock. Shut the hell up. You're like, come on. So we got a huge brawl between the baby faces and the heels. The women's tag team champions cleared the ring of everyone but Lana, and then they put her through the announce table 38th straight week. I don't know what else I should say about it. I don't. I say it every week. It's not funny. I don't know why Vince or Bruce Pritchard thinks this is what's going to get Lana over. It's not. You're not building sympathy. You're looking like complete idiots. You're legit. Anybody from AEW, to Impact, the New Japan, to all the other companies, they are looking at you guys and they're seeing what you're doing, especially here with Lana, and they're absolutely laughing. It is a joke. It is a joke. You're not getting Lana over. You're not. You're embarrassing the woman. And it's terrible. It's terrible. Hate it. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. I've said the same things about this every single week. There's really nothing else for me to say about this. So bad. So bad. Right? Next up, we had Alexa Bliss. She was backstage. She was playing with flower petals, right? She was picking flowers. All right. And Nikki Cross came up to her. And, Alexa was in, her Harley Quinn happy mode, right? And there was no Firefly Funhouse, but Nikki was like, I'm your best friend, Lexi. Like, it's time for you to get away from the Fiend. I'm sorry that, I distanced myself before, but it was because I was afraid of him. But the Fiend is an evil, evil guy. Even though the Fiend is supposed to be a babyface, I read reports that WWE considers the Fiend and Alexa to be babyfaces right now. I don't know. But Nikki was like, you need to get away from her or from him. And Alexa was like, I don't want to, right? And then Nikki was like, all right, you need to make a choice. It's either me or him. Lexi thought about it for about 3 seconds, and she was like, I pick him. And as he ran away. So like I said, I like what Alexa's doing with this character, right? But at the end of the day, it's whatever. It's whatever, right? I would like to at least see this go somewhere a little bit because I feel like it's gonna slowly drag down if they're just doing the same segments each and every single week and there's no direction. Like, where are they going with this? You know what I mean? I like the Fiend and Alexa Bliss together, but slowly, if they don't start giving them direction, a storyline, a goal, something to go after, it's gonna die down. It's just gonna be pointless. This is gonna be segments just to fill time, and I don't want that. I know you guys don't want that either, because Alexa and the Fiend might be the only good thing on the show right now. All right, I don't know. Pacapera, I'm probably saying your name incorrectly, but Pacapera says, so an evil broken man who represents his psychosis is in a child's show. I'm saying, so an evil broken man who represents is in a in a children's show is a face. Oh man, NBA YouTube says you were just in JD stream. Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch. I like JD from NY a lot. Right, he was one of the guys that inspired me to start my podcast. All right, but the reason why I don't watch JD as much anymore is because the thing is his streams can go on for 2 hours, where half the time he's just reading super chats, and I'm just like I don't really care about clicking through, like and clicking through. It's just I don't know. I like if he's talking. If there's something big going on, and I want to hear his thoughts, I'll go in and watch his podcast. But when you start doing 2 to 3 hour streams, and half the time you just talk about super chats, it's just whatever. So yeah, that's my thoughts on JD, man. Still, I really enjoy the guy. Right, one of my favorite in the entire community. But his live streams are just way too long these days. Anyway, like I was saying, hopefully the Fiend and Alexa Bliss get some direction on this show, because you can't just keep doing segments and just expect me just to take and be like, yeah, it's great. No, we need direction. Anyway, getting over back to the Men's Survivor Series match. So we had a team meeting. So after Matt Riddle qualified, right, AJ Styles said we needed a team meeting because everyone was bickering backstage. So, basically, this segment wasn't bad. At least, the match I didn't care about, but the segment wasn't bad. It was more of a comedic segment because Matt Riddle, Riddle gave everyone code names. He gave like Styles Skipper. He gave I forgot what he gave I forgot what he gave Strowman's nickname was. But Styles was like Skipper. He gave Keith Lee Broly. I love that a lot because like Keith Lee's last name is Lee. Matt Riddle was like his thing is Bro, so Bro Lee together, Broly, like Dragon Ball Super. And I know Keith Lee's a huge Dragon Ball fan, so I actually like that a lot. That was pretty cool. I forgot what he called Sheamus' name. I'm sorry that I'm forgetting what the nicknames were. But it was actually a pretty comedic segment. I like, everyone was getting, little jabs in on each other. And it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. But, Styles, everyone, the team was disagreeing on a lot of stuff. But everybody agreed that Styles should have been the captain. That was like the only thing that would bring the team together, So instead, Styles announced that he talked to Adam Pearce earlier, and that there would be a tag match to hopefully help with, the team unification. So Riddle was getting his second match of the night. He had a completely different ring attire for this, which I found hilarious. But it was Riddle and Lee versus Sheamus and Strowman. The match wasn't bad. Styles was the special guest referee. I liked how Styles was, trying to separate people. Yeah, like I said, I kind of like what they're doing with Styles. Clearly, he's a heel. We all know that. But I like how they have him in this. Like, he believes he's the captain row and everyone's against him. And he's trying to, be the guy that keeps everyone together. I kind of like it. But I just wish Survivor Series had some type of direction. Some type of direction. We'll talk about the Hurt Business in just a sec. I see what you said in my YouTube. I hope you're wrong in Cedric Alexander, but I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. All right, but either way, the match was So the match came down to the end. Sheamus hit Strowman with a bro kick off the apron, so he hit a bro kick on Strowman for the second week in a row, and then Riddle took advantage of the situation by rolling up Sheamus, so he got the win. Him and Lee celebrated, while Sheamus was frustrated with Styles and Strowman, even though technically, Sheamus cost his team the match, just because. But match was anything special. Didn't really care for it that much. It was just Honestly, that's what it was. It was just My friends and me. Oh my gosh! I forgot. I'm sorry, guys. I forgot I'm doing a review. Someone sent me a text message and I had to respond. I answered that text message was more important than anything on Monday Night Raw. So please forgive me for the 15 seconds I didn't say anything. Anyway, like I was saying, The match was anything special. I don't mind what they're doing here with this whole fake Styles captain, storyline, and the team being dysfunctional, right? I still don't know how it's going to go at Survivor Series. I think the Raw. I would say right now I would pick the Raw Men's Survivor Series team to get the dub, but I'm going to wait a week till we still have the full roster, and then we'll talk about that more when we have the preview and prediction show next week. So next week we will have a preview and prediction show. I just don't know what day. I'm thinking possibly towards the end of the week, maybe Friday. So I'm thinking possibly like next Friday we do a preview and prediction show. Then Saturday I do the SmackDown review, and then Sunday night we do Survivor Series reaction and we do Survivor Series review. That's what I'm thinking about. But of course things can't change. This is a crazy world we live in. But I'll let you guys know on that. But it wasn't bad here. I just wish there was some kind of stakes going into Survivor Series. Next up, we had Bobby Lashley. He came up with MVP earlier in the night. Drew Gulak tried to recruit himself into the Hurt Business, but the Hurt Business didn't take his offer. Then MVP saw that Gulak was wearing a clip-on tie, and they beat him down for that. And then R-Truth took advantage, winning back the 24/7 title, same title that Lashley cost him last week. So MVP and Lashley come out. They said that the Hurt Business would win the tag team titles. So, like I said, you had the New Day in the main event tonight, teaming with Drew McIntyre. I thought for a second they were going to try to insert an intelligence like they usually do, and then, they were going to say, or they were just going to forget that the Hurt Business pinned the New Day clean last week on Raw, right? But I'm glad that they didn't. For once, they used their brains, and it's announced that next week we will be getting the New Day versus the Street Profits, or not the Street Profits, New Day versus the Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin for the Raw Tag Team titles, which should be a really good match, right? I don't see the Hurt Business winning the titles. I would say that possibly for maybe like TLC, but either way, it should be a good match. So they're trying to make next week about championships, having the Raw Tag Team titles and the WWE title defended, right before the Survivor Series. Who knows? Maybe we get an invasion angle, even though Vince doesn't want to do them, but I doubt it. We'll probably see some kind of invasion angle next week. But, so just wanted to mention that really quick. So lastly, he talked about how he would beat Sami Zayn at Survivor Series, yada, yada, yada. Titus O'Neil came up to yell at Lashley and MVP for attacking him a couple weeks ago when Titus was just trying to be a man of business and offer his services to the Hurt Business. JD tweeted out that if Titus wants to be the head chef for the Hurt Business, well, hell, they should take him in, which I found funny. So O'Neil called Lashley out for never defending his title, so Lashley agreed to put the title on the line. And you can say the same thing that I said about Asuka earlier about Bobby Lashley as well. Bobby Lashley has not had a legit U.S. Championship feud in months. Ever since Apollo got moved to SmackDown. He had, you have actually a decent mid-card. If you look at it, you have Sheamus, you have, Riddle, right? You have Matt Riddle in there. You can have AJ Styles if you want. He can compete in there. Come on, you got Keith Lee. Imagine a Keith Lee and Bobby Lashley match for the U.S. Championship. Are you kidding me right now? The fact that Lashley doesn't have any opponents for the U.S. title, and he's up against Jobber, man, makes no sense. No sense. Hold up, guys. I gotta make a call. Unit Security, this is George. How may I help you? Oh, hey, Mike. Yeah. What's his name? Did Raul call you earlier? Yeah. Yeah, he was just calling to let you know that Sam's covering you tomorrow from 6 a.m. to 2. Yep. You're all good. Yep. Yep. No problem. And you guys just got to watch me at work. Got to watch me at work. Like I said, I'm at work right now, so I had to answer a call real quick. Live on stream. It wasn't anything serious. It was just someone that needed a cover for tomorrow. But anyway, back to what I was saying, right? Right? Bobby Lashley hasn't defended the U.S. title against anybody. How to, like, 2 of your championships have no division. The Raw Women's division and the U.S. division. When there's clearly names you can build up to challenge those champions, but instead you have no division. Makes 0 sense. 0 sense. But no one will mention this. No one will mention this. You have to have Titus O'Neil, of all people, come out and call out Bobby Lashley for never defending his title. Wow. Great job, Titus O'Neil. Great job. I thought you were great at cooking, but at least you have a sense of logic on this show, right? So, Lashley agreed. You know, I like the intensity from Lashley here. He agreed to put his title on the line. He said this would be the first and last time O'Neil would ever challenge for the title. So we got the match. The match, wasn't long. O'Neil got a couple of rights and lefts in there. But, of course, Lashley ended it quickly. He hit him with a spear and then applied the Hurt Lock for the victory, right? The fact is, I feel like O'Neil didn't even know. O'Neil didn't even know that he was supposed to have the match. The dude came out there in jeans. He wasn't even wearing his ring gear. He's so used to being in catering and cooking for everybody back there at the Thunderdome that he doesn't even bring his ring gear to the arena anymore. That's funny. Guy came out there in jeans like he was a mini John Cena. Oh my gosh. Terrible, man. Terrible stuff. I'm so happy. We had a 7-man 24/7 title match. I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about this at all. Right? The belt changed 9 times in the span of 2.5 minutes. It went from R-Truth to every single man in that match. Right? It went from R-Truth to Tucker to Eric to Gulak to Dorado to Grand Metalik to Akira Tozawa. All 7 men in this match held the 24/7 title for a couple seconds tonight. Just for R-Truth to get the title back at the end. Don't care. Burn the 24/7 title. I love R-Truth, but burn the title. This is absolutely despicable. This was disgusting. I'm not wasting any more time on this. Retribution. So earlier in the night, it was announced that we would be getting Ali versus Ricochet. I was intrigued by this because Ali said in his promo backstage that maybe, Ricochet would consider joining Retribution. I wouldn't mind that. Ricochet has no direction on the show. Another guy that is immensely talented. Immensely. A guy that should have probably been a multiple-time, at least U.S. or IC championship holder by now, has absolutely no direction on this show and is doing absolutely nothing. His prime years being absolutely wasted, doing nothing. The guy faced Tucker last week. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So I'm like, put Ricochet in Retribution? Why not? At least it would be better than anything else. Even though Retribution is buried, anything would be a positive for Ricochet these days. And it's sad for me to say that. So, basically, then Mia Yim, cut another promo. I don't know. I guess they're still teasing Mia Yim versus Asuka. Even though I said this last week, I'm not interested in seeing that feud. At least I'm not interested in seeing that with the current presentation of freaking Mia Yim. Bring her back to her NXT days, then give me the match. Not this reckoning crap that she's doing right now. Absolutely despicable. So either way, the Ali versus Ricochet match, this probably was the best part of the show. This was probably the best thing on the show. Very competitive match between 2 really good wrestlers. This was really good. So we come out from commercial. Ali hit a neck breaker for a 2 count. Ricochet began to make a comeback. Hit a big clothesline. All right, he blocked a tornado DDT and hit a suplex, followed by a Brave Buster for a close 2 count. Ali hit a backstabber from the top rope, but they couldn't get the pin. He berated Ricochet until he punched Ali in the face and hit a reverse Hurricanrana, which looked really, really good. He took out the rest of Retribution with a springboard corkscrew, but then went for a Phoenix Splash in mitts. Honestly, Ali locked him into a really good-looking submission move. I don't think he has a name for it, but looked really cool, and he got the win. So This was easily the best match and segment of the night, and that's not saying a lot because Raw was complete garbage tonight, right? But it just pisses me off that you have two fantastic wrestlers who should be fighting for U.S. championships, right? They should be fighting for titles, but instead they're in meaningless programs. Retribution is buried, and so is Ali. All right? So is Ricochet. Everyone involved in this match is already buried. But it's a sad that you saw how great a match that these two put on, and they're not being used correctly. It's legit the epitome of Raw. That match defined Raw. All the talent in the world, but terrible delivery, terrible execution, because Vince McMahon is that much out of touch. Terrible. It's really that terrible. We'll see if this Ricochet Ali storyline continues, and maybe Ricochet eventually joins Retribution, right? Like I said, it would be better than anything, but the thing about it is, I don't even know really that's the right move just because of the way Retribution's been booked. So I don't know. But anyway, last up, we had the main event. We had Randy Orton, Miz and Morrison versus the New Day and Drew McIntyre. It was announced that before this match that we would get a WWE title match between Drew and Randy Orton next week on the main event, the go-home show before Survivor Series. Guys, I complained about it earlier in the show, but I don't care how great Drew McIntyre is. And you guys know I like him. I like Randy Orton as well. What did Drew McIntyre do between Hell in a Cell and now to earn a WWE title shot? There was no number one contenders match. All he did was attack Randy Orton each and every single week. And I don't see Drew winning the title next week. I see that the match ending in disqualification or Randy Orton picking up the win via some kind of distraction, right? But I don't see Drew McIntyre winning the title. Even though Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns at Survivor Series will be great, but 6 days before Survivor Series, and I don't know if Drew doesn't win the title, which I don't expect him to. What does he do at Survivor Series? He's not in the men's Survivor Series match, even though we all thought that's what they were going to use him for. But he's not in the men's Survivor Series match. I don't know what you do with Drew if he doesn't win the title next week, which I don't expect him, because that would be wrong for so many reasons, and I don't need to explain that to you. All right, but this is a terrible decision. Terrible. I'm already sick of tired of seeing the match. We've already seen it 3 or 4 times in the last 3 or 4 months, and Drew has done nothing to earn a WWE title shot. Nothing. So what? All I got to do is attack the WWE champion a couple weeks in a row, and that gets me a WWE title shot? Sign me today, WWE, because your logic is terrible. Terrible. I hate it. And Danae says the Fiend's going to attack Drew. I don't see that. Well, I wouldn't be surprised, but the thing is, Drew, like I said earlier, Vince sees the Fiend as a babyface, so it wouldn't make sense. But I don't know, man. This show, it just makes no sense. In terms of the match, right, I did like Randy Orton's mindset in it. He refused to get involved. He refused whenever Mr. Morrison tried to tag him in, right? He refused to tag into the match. And Drew, would just keep taunting Randy and taunting. But eventually, when Drew saw that Randy was not going to get into the match, Drew just hit John Morrison. Poor John Morrison, right? Morrison's getting buried a lot these days. He hit John Morrison with a devastating Claymore, got the win, and, stared down Orton to set up next week's WWE title match, which I don't care about. You think putting a WWE title match between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, a match we've seen all throughout the summer, all throughout the fall. We've seen this match how many times? And you think just by putting that match on free TV next week, that's what's going to boost the ratings? I don't know when Vince McMahon is going to figure out that he is the problem and he needs to go. It is that clear. This show was absolutely despicable. It gets worse and worse every single week. It's that simple. There's nothing else to say. It's sad to see Monday Night Raw in the state it is. With SmackDown, at least SmackDown's decent because Triple H is over there. There's people over there that, actually can, have influence on Vince's decisions. On Raw, it's just Bruce and Vince. And the results show. I hope the ratings continue to falter. Because until change is made, until Vince is gone, Raw will continue being the worst program on television each and every single week. All right? Other than that, guys, that's all I got for you guys for the podcast today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Thank you guys. Go check out all the other content that's on the channel. Follow me on social media. The links are in the description down below. SmackDown review, if you guys missed that, that is live. I will probably have a bonus podcast for you guys later this week. Hopefully. Make sure to follow me on social media for updates on that. But other than that, that's all I got for you guys today, man. I wish I could be more positive. I wish I could care enough, to actually plug in my camera and, put on my layout and give you guys a better look. But I just don't care. I don't care about the show. And until WWE makes me care, this is the way it's going to be. All right. Thank you guys for joining me once again. I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for everything. Stay safe and healthy, y'all. Peace.